is Line Racing, and we are back for another weekend. Last weekend, y'all saw me pull the front clip and the engine out of this Camaro. This is my 1979 Z28. It was on a Willitrun a couple videos back. If you want to check those out, you can. But the goal for this weekend is I want to get the majority of this area and this area cleaned up. I'm going to tear this engine down just a little bit, get the accessories off, water pump, take the transmission off the engine because, well, I want to know what's wrong with the clutch because there was always a problem with the clutch. First step was I went ahead and I cleaned up the pad here so I could get a reading on the casting numbers of the block. Good news, this is a 350 2 or 4 bolt mains that come out of a Camaro. So it's the engine that come out of it, which is fine. So let's just jump right into it. Let's get these accessories off, exhaust manifolds off, get this transmission off, and get to cleaning. Levi, what's today? Today your birthday?
Yeah.
How old you turn today? How many? Come on, how old you turn today?
Today.
Hold them up. Look.
Yeah.
4. 4th birthday today. High five. Probably the first step we're gonna do here is I'm gonna go ahead and get this exhaust manifold off. Now I'm a little nervous, guys, because these bolts do not look great, and I'm afraid that I'm gonna break a handful of them off in the engine, and then I'm gonna have to work like heck to get them out. So we're just gonna see. I got some PB Blaster. If I have to, I'll put some heat on it. This is gonna take a while because I don't want to break any off. So let's just go ahead and get right down to it. See what's gonna happen here. I don't think this is gonna do anything. As suspected. Well, we got one out.
Good job, Papa.
We got 2. Alright, it's 4 without breaking. Now here's the thing. So normally I wouldn't take all this mess off, but I'm not planning on reusing these exhaust manifolds and that intake manifold. For one, I don't want to have to deal with the little flapper valve over here. So this is the setup where it's a Smogger. This is a Smogger engine, y'all. So it's got a flapper valve and all this mess. So I'm throwing all of this crap away. It's gonna make it onto the scrap heap. I might keep the headers, you know, just to throw them on something. But I'm just gonna get some block huggers, some shorties, you know, some cheap little headers to throw on here. Just get rid of this conglomerate of mess. So hopefully we can get this last 2 out without breaking them. Well, surprisingly enough, we got all of them off without breaking them.
But there was a spider on this thing. But there's a spider on this thing. I saw it.
Oh, some more disassembly here. Let's go ahead and get these motor mounts off.
But how am I going to get these spark plugs out?
Alright, so we're on the passenger side now. Go ahead and pull these spark plug wires. So if any 2 are going to break, it's probably going to be one of these 2 right here. Surprisingly, we got 1 out. Yeah, that's 2. We're doing pretty good. Alright, so we got the 2 little trays out. I'm just trying to get this header out without having to pull the dipstick tube because usually they're rusted in the block and I don't want to risk tearing that up. So I'm going to just try to get creative here and take off this little tab that I have no idea what it does. And hopefully that'll give me enough room to get this header off.
I can't see you anymore.
Alright. There we go.
Is that?
Save that for later. So now we've got I'm gonna leave the Z-bar bracket on. So we basically got both sides of the engine torn down. Let's go ahead and start getting these accessories out. So what I'm doing here is I've got a bag and I'm just putting everything in a bag. So motor mount bolts, header bolts, I'm gonna save them. The ones that are good, I'll clean up and reuse them.
Wow, that's a one bolt.
Yep, give me a bag, son.
But what's on top of it?
Just go get a bag.
Oh, take a bag. Just tell me where you need that. I will see. Papa, this one is a sit bag.
Now we're gonna keep up with these accessories and clean them up and reuse them because for the most part they work. Like this alternator was charging, power steering pump was working some, so if you don't need to spend the money, don't spend it. So now we're down to the water pump and the pulley on the harmonic balancer, and this will basically be almost torn down enough to where we can start the pressure washer. So I'm just gonna knock them off real quick, let the camera cool off, and then we'll probably knock the transmission off after that.
What happened?
All right, so that's the front.
Okay.
Completely disassembled. Harmonic balancer doesn't look too bad. Probably just gonna clean it up and reuse it. Clean all this mess up. Let's go a touch lower, so whenever it drops, it doesn't smash all my fingers. There's a bunch of little bitty bolts that hold the splash guard on, whatever you want to call it. It's got me jammed up. You can't see them, but there's a bunch of little bitty bolts back here for a dust shield for the bottom of the transmission. I gotta take all of those off real quick. Transmission's off. Camera died. Sorry. It wasn't too bad. I took the little splash shield off the bottom off and transmission pulled right out. So go ahead and knock the pressure plate bolts off. Get a look at this clutch. As you can tell, there's clutch material just about everywhere, and this baby was slipping almost in every gear whenever you tried to get on it real bad. So there's something wrong with this clutch. Well, we're about to figure out what it is. I'm sure it's just old. Needs a new one. Yeah, the disc is, she's fairly, there's still some life to it left, but you can just tell she's had a couple little clutch kicks in her day. The flywheel, whoo, pretty pitted, pretty bad. Probably gonna see if I can get the flywheel resurfaced just to save some money, and I'll get a new clutch disc and see if I can get my hands on a pressure plate, because pressure plate's seen better days as well. All in all, not too bad. Let's knock this flywheel off, cover it in some oil, keep it from flash rusting, and then I think we'll be ready to start. Alright, so we have got the whole thing sprayed down with simple green. Everything. Starter, that thing, motor mounts, transmission. I ran out before I got to the fenders. I'm gonna pressure wash them too. But everything is sprayed down, so we're gonna let it cook for a little bit. Let it creep in and seep in to as much of the grease as we can hope to get off. I'm gonna let that sit for a little bit. Go eat lunch with the wife and kids, and then come back and we'll fire up the pressure washer. we ain't even done yet. Just getting started. Transmission is cleaning up pretty doggone good. Engine, I was hoping it was gonna clean up a little bit better. I got to reapply my tape right here. I had to stop pressure washing this side because my tape come off, and I don't want to get a lot of water down in the cylinders. Whenever I'm done, I'm gonna roll it around, spray it, get everything out, but I'd like to keep as much of it out as possible. This subframe right here, the sea of rust that come out of these horns whenever I was spraying, trying to get all of that mess out. Yikes. I've almost talked myself into you can see now that I've been spraying it how thin it is pretty much everywhere. It's another thin spot. I've almost talked myself into putting that other subframe on this vehicle. Yeah. It's a lot of work. Really wasn't wanting to do that, but you gotta do what you gotta do. And I mean, heck, I gotta get that other Camaro apart and see how the subframe is on it, you know. Heck, we might be in the same boat with that one, but we ain't never gonna know unless we get to work. I'm filthy. I didn't even know I was that dirty. Let me use this dirty rag to wipe my dirty face off. Didn't help much. So now, I mean, we've got the big crap off of this. So I need to get my spray back out here with a screwdriver, wire brush, spray, wire brush. Trying to knock as much of it off as we can on both the transmission and the engine. And we're probably gonna have to call it for today. This is taking a heck of a lot longer than what I wanted. I mean, it's elbow grease, but you gotta do it. The point of this is to not scrape the dirt off. Just agitate it enough to where the pressure washer can get some corners of it and get it the rest of the way off. And people go, oh my God, you're using a wire brush, you're gonna scratch up that transmission. Yep, yeah, I am. Don't care. Yeah, if you're gonna do this, you can't be afraid of getting dirty. Pro tip: if you're running a pressure washer in flip-flops, don't accidentally go over all the toes on your right foot. It hurts really bad, and you'll know that you did it about 2 milliseconds after it happened. I think the transmission's as good as we're ever gonna get it. I mean, it's underneath the car, so I just wanted to be able to touch it and not get greasy, and I think we're to that point. Shove the shifter back in there. I'm gonna WD-40 up this mechanism. This is probably the cleanest it's been in 30-something years, so let's see if the gears feel better. Whenever I first got this vehicle running, trying to go through the gears, it was, didn't know, had no idea. All right, so let's go through. First, second, third, fourth. Oh yeah. All right, transmission, we're calling good. I think we're gonna have to do one more scrape job on this. Now that corporate blue, she's coming in underneath all that rust or dirt and grease. See, y'all seen me shove plastic bags in there. That's not gonna keep the water out. The water is still gonna make its way around the plastic bags, around all the duct tape, gonna wind up in the cylinders. So soaking wet. So what I do is I'm gonna take all this mess out, take all the plugs out, spray air and everything, get all the water off of it, then I'll roll the engine around a bunch of times, get all the water I can out of it. Every cylinder gets a healthy coat. of WD-40, and then it'll sit till I get ready to paint it. So I'm probably gonna do one more scrape, one more pressure wash, then we'll start the process of getting all the water out of it. So you just got done pressure washing an engine, and it's got to sit for a little while. Pay close attention. I'm only gonna show you this one. Air hose. Get all the water off of it. Now all the napkins we shoved in here earlier, take all them out. Here's what you're gonna want to do. Spray all the water. Some of the cylinders, some of the valves are open. I'm dirty. So some of the valves are open, some of them are closed. The ones that are closed, spray all that water out. The ones that are open, so be it. Water's going in, but we're gonna get it out. But we don't want the water that's behind the cylinders that are closed to go in. Now get your favorite spark plug removing tool. Take all these spark plugs out. Now, nice full can of WD-40 right down the spark plug gaps. Fill them up. .5/8 socket on a 1/2 inch Caesar salad, and roll this baby around. Repeat steps 2 and 4. Don't know which ones that was. WD-40, roll it around. Then after come on guys, you know how to do this. After you feel like you've gotten all the water out and you've coated the cylinders down pretty good, put you some PB blaster in there. Put you some motor oil in there. Put you some more WD-40 in there. I will say, depends on how long you want it to sit. WD-40 eventually will go away. It helps get the water out because it's water displacement, 40th recipe. So I usually put PB blaster or motor oil. I will let them sit in with motor oil in. Just anything. Just keep these cylinders rust-free-ish, rolling around every once in a while. Depends on how long it's going to sit. I'm going to go ahead and get this one painted and probably get it on the stand. I don't know. Haven't decided if I want to put a cam in it yet. We're just going to keep doing that for a little bit. Probably coat the engine in WD-40 because there are a lot of bare spots on this engine, and I'd like to keep them from flash rusting as much as possible. We'll probably coat it in WD-40, and then whenever we go to paint it one day, we'll just have to hit it with 3 or 4 cans of brake clean to get all the water off of it. So there you go. Give me 1 minute, I'll be done with this. Man, I thought I was gonna get a lot more done today, but this engine was dirty, and I'm not talking about just dirt on it. I'm talking about baked on grease, dirt, oil. It would fault me a little bit more than I thought, to be honest with you. I didn't think I was gonna be doing this as long as I have. I was supposed to clean all that up some more. I haven't. It is what it is. This happens. But this baby is ready for paint. I wish I had some corporate blue. I'd put it on right now, but I don't. So that's gonna have to wait. It might be something I'll do this week. Don't show y'all. I mean, it's just painting an engine, you know. You're not really missing a whole lot. You've seen me do it before, or maybe you haven't. I don't know. Maybe I'll film a little short or something. So that's gonna do it for this weekend. Y'all tune in next weekend. I still got hours and hours and hours of work. Y'all comment down below. Let me know whenever you're getting tired of these, and I'll go find us a Willitrun to do or something. So I'll see you on the next one. Peace.